a shooting star. The engines roar, the tires scream, fast as lightning, it's a dream. Speed and drama, every turn on NFR, the rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Like Fernando calls the play on NFR every race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Not Fernando calls the play on NFR at race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Deaf Queen, the top supporter, see in the crowd where speed is keen. NFR, the place to be. Join the race, watch and see.
Engines roar, the crowd goes wild. SAFRL under the lights. Tuesday night a battle begins. Speeding hearts chasing winds. Pit stops are lightning fast. Every second a driver must grasp. Bumps and spins on curves so tight, fighting for glory beneath the twilight. SAFRL on a Tuesday night, adrenaline rush and flashing lights, tears and triumphs on the line. In the race of life at 8 p.m. shine. The checkered flag is waving near, fans are cheering, can you hear? Highs and lows in every lap, drama unfolds, no time for a nap. Competitors push with all their might, risking it all in the fight. Victory awaits the bold and brave. Legends are born on this stage. SAFRL on a Tuesday night, adrenaline rush and flashing lights, tears and triumphs on the line. In the race of life at 8 p.m. shine. Checkered flag is waving near, fans are cheering, can you hear? Highs and lows in every lap, drama unfolds, no time for a nap. Competitors push with all their might, risking it all in the fight. Victory awaits the bold and brave. Legends are born on the stage. SAFRL on a Tuesday night, adrenaline rush and flashing lights, tears and triumphs on the line. In the race of life at 8 p.m. shine.
Under neon lights and engine screams, She's the guardian of our speed-filled dreams. With skull in flight, an alien on the chase. She's the calm in the storm, our guiding grace. Andre by her side, loyal and strong. Their love's been racing all along.
We finished it off. That's a big day for us, for constructors. We'll keep chipping away.
Pizza's paying off, mate.
Pizza, pizza, pizza.
Her voice, our fuel, our fearless light. From cockpit to coach, she stands supreme. A true believer in the brotherhood dream. Oh, Death Queen in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. Trophies shine, but not like her pride. Watching Skull and Andre glide. She's there in silence, she's there in roar. In every circuit, every lore. From midnight spins to dawn's first light, she's always there holding us tight. No crash too deep, no curve too wide. With her in spirit, we rise, we ride. Oh, Death Queen, heart of the grid. With every cheer she lifts the lid on fears, on doubt, she tears through night. Her voice, our fuel, our fearless light. From cockpit to coach, she stands supreme. A true believer in the brotherhood dream. Oh, Death Queen in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. Just a fan, she's legacy born. Through every F1 storm we wore. Holding the line, fierce and unseen. Forever our monarch, our Death Queen. Whoa, Death Queen, heart of the grid. With every cheer she lifts the lid on fears, on doubt, she tears through night. Her voice, our fuel, our fearless light. From cockpit to coach, she stands supreme. A true believer in the brotherhood dream. Oh, Death Queen in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. Yeah, oh, Death Queen, you are the queen of our sim racing team.
A spark in the dark where your dreams collide. They'll tell you to stop, say the road's too long, but your heart keeps beating to a rebel song. Take a step, don't look below. Every scar's a story, only you will know. The weight of the world can't break your stride. You're carving your name where the stars reside. When the shadows call, when the nights grow cold, you'll find the strength in the tales untold. You can rise to the sky, touch the edge of the flame, write your heart in the light, let the world know your name. No chains can hold you, no storms too wide. You're a legend in the making when you rise to the sky. The ground may shake, but your roots run deep. Every fall you take is a promise you keep. The doubters will fade, their voices will break, 'cause your soul's on fire and it's yours to take. Run through the rain, chase the endless fight. Every dream you claim lights a spark in the night. The horizon's calling, it's yours to claim. A warrior's heart with a fearless flame. When the shadows call, when the nights grow cold, you'll the doors. Every step is a battle won. Your story's just begun. Oh, let it soar. Forevermore, forevermore. You can rise to the sky, touch the edge of the flame, write your heart in the light, let the world know your name. No chains can hold you, no storms too wide. You're a legend in the making when you rise to the sky. So keep on climbing, don't ever slow. The stars are waiting where the brave ones go. You'll rise to the sky. Yeah, you'll rise to the sky. A legend in the making till the end of time.
We finished it off. That's a big day for us, for constructors. We'll keep chipping away.
Pizza's paying off, mate.
Pizza, pizza, pizza.
Daniil came roaring, a Russian with a spark. Toro Rosso's fire lit up the track in the dark. Promised Red Bull's big seat, he flew in 2015. But Sochi's crash sent him down, Max stole the dream. Back to Toro he went with a "we'll call you lie." Twice they cut him loose, left him high and dry. Helmet's cold handshake, Christian sideways grin. Daniil kept fighting, but the deck was stacked to win. Red Bull's wings, they lift you up, then crash you to the ground. Promise seats and glory, but then lies keep spinning around. From Daniel to Pierre, Alex and more, they fell. Red Bull's driver graveyard, where dreams go to dwell. Pierre was the next kid with a smile bright as day. Toro Rosso star Bahrain's foreshowed the way. Red Bull called him up, said, "Son, you're the one." But Max's shadow crushed him. 12 races, he was done. Sent back to Toro, told he'd get another shot, but the phone stayed silent, left Pierre in a knot. Jamie and Sebastian, they felt that same old sting. Promised Toro saddle, but Red Bull clipped their wings. Red Bull's wings, they lift you up, then crash you to the ground. Promise seats and glory, but then lies keep spinning around. From Daniel to Pierre, Alex and more, they fell. Red Bull's driver graveyard, where dreams go to 12. Brendan waited 9 years for a shot to shine, but Toro chewed him up, spit him out.
God, it's broken!
Liam got
It's
to
broken!
races, thought he'd earn his place. Red Bull said, "Back to Bulls, you're losing this race." Carlos got alone, I never saw Red Bull again. Now he's winning elsewhere, leaving helmet in pain. They dangle that seat like a carrot on a string, but when you reach for glory, you're left with nothing but sting. Red Bull's wings, they lift you up, then crash.
Okay, can you bring it back, Lance?
No, what?
So here's to the drivers who fought through the pain. Daniil, Pierre, and Alex rising up again. Red Bull's got its titles, but these boys paid the cost. In the dust of melting keys, their dreams ain't full.
God, it's broken! It's broken!
Well, Oscar, you rolled in like a king on a throne. China, Bahrain, them Silverstone hit hard, your brake check caught a fine. 10 seconds sunk your hopes, boy, you're losing your shine. Canada's wall, you shoved Lando to the stone. Now he's riding tall, and you're out there all alone. Oscar, your race leads slipping away like dust on a lonesome road. Lando's got the fire, and your dreams are about to fold. 8 points left, you're sweating in the sun. Lando's got the wheel, boy, your lead's near done. Austria's dust, you dove like a farm boy lost. Lando took that win, left you paying the cost. Your restarts are rougher than a dirt road's rut. Stewards wave them flags. Oscar, you're in a rut. McLaren's hauling strong, still the team to beat, but your championship leads wilting in the heat. Lando's got the grit, tough as a barnyard nail. While you're spinning tires, he's blazing down the trail. Oscar, your race leads slipping away like dust on a lonesome road. Lando's got the fire, and your dreams are about to fold. 8 points left, you're sweating in the sun. Lando's got the wheel, boy, your lead's near done. You were the hotshot kid, crown gleaming in the light. Now Lando's got the reins, and he's racing through the night. Silverstone's cheers, he carved your lead to 8. Your championship hopes are hanging on by fate. What's that, Oscar? Another dive gone wrong. Lando's got your number, singing this here song. McLaren's got the speed, but you're losing the spark. Step aside, old boy, Lando's lighting up the dark. Yeah, so crank that old guitar, hear Lando's victory tune. Oscar, your race leads fading beneath the moon. McLaren's still the king, but it's Lando's time to reign. Bow out, Oscar, let Lando take the fame. Nico rolled into F1 back in 2010. A German kid with dreams, pole in Brazil back when. Williams gave him wings, but then they clipped him fast. Sent him to the sidelines, dreams fading in the past. Force India Renault, he drove with fire and heart, but podiums dodged him like a mule kicking in the dark. 3-4, so close in Belgium, Korea too. Hockenheim's reign in 19 slid right out a dune. Oh, Nico, you chased that podium dream. 238 starts, no trophies gleam. Through rain and wrecks you fought, never lost your spark. Silverstone's mud in 25, you lit up the dark. Le Mans in 15, you won with Porsche's roar, but F1's cruel mistress kept locking that door. Sauberhausen back, you badgered for a seat. Günther Steiner laughed, Nico, you can't be beat. Monaco 16, Sergio stole the show. Bad pit calls left you stuck in traffic's bitter flow, yet you kept on driving, no quit in your soul. A freight hauler son with a heart made of gold. Oh, Nico, you chased that podium dream. 238 starts, no trophies gleam. Through rain and wrecks you fought, never lost your spark. Silverstone's mud in 25, you lit up the dark. From P19 in a Sauber that ain't grand, you danced through the rain, took fate in your hand. Lewis chased you down, but you said not today. Held off that Ferrari, sent the crowd in a fray. Lego trophy in hand, you grin with that sass. Silver or gold be nice, but I'll take this plastic class. The paddock went wild, Max gave you a nod. Jonathan Wheatley hollered, man, you're a racing god. Oh, Nico, you chased that podium dream. 238 starts, no trophies gleam. Through rain and wrecks you fought, never lost your spark. Silverstone's mud in 25, you lit up the dark. So here's to Nico, the Hulk who broke the curse. 15 years of grit, no one drove it worse or better. Raise a bottle high for that Silverstone day. Nico's finally podium bound, and he's here to stay.
Like a shooting star, the engines roar, the tires scream. Fast as lightning, it's a dream. Speed and drama, every turn on NFR, the rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR. Calls to play on NFR every race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, holy friend. And not Fernando calls to play on NFR at race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, holy friend. Deaf queen, the top supporter scene in the crowd where speed is keen. NFR, the place to be. Join the race, watch and see.
Dreams roar, the crowd goes wild. SAFRL under the lights. Tuesday night a battle begins. Speeding hearts chasing winds. Pit stops are lightning fast. Every second a driver must grasp. Bumps and spins on curves so tight, fighting for glory beneath the twilight.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to NFR. Welcome back to SAFRL on a Tuesday night. Of course, we've just gone past 8 p.m. It's time to get going. Remember, tonight we are in Silverstone, but it's not the Silverstone you're used to. It's going to look somewhat different. Of course, we're doing it in reverse. Hopefully all these drivers have had a chance to do this layout. If not, hopefully they've done a lot of practice. It's not just a circuit in reverse, it's a brand new circuit. See drivers getting out on track early on. This is Nismo. This is the first driver out on circuit, wanting to waste no time. Get a look at the circuit. I'm certain there's nobody here going into this race not knowing the layout. But even then, these guys aren't going to be as well rehearsed as they would be on other circuits. Nismo making way. Doesn't want to be at the front of that queue. J-Boy, one of the two Ferraris, the other Ferrari remains in the pits. Skull finally got on the points table on Sunday for SKR. Is he going to get on the points table tonight? Has just emerged from the pits. He's on an outlap of his own. We're looking at his teammate. And look at that. Isn't that jarring? If you're used to the Silverstone circuit, you're wondering, where am I right now? Of course, the twisty Sector 3 is now the twisty Sector 1. It changes so much when you turn it around. Two Aston Martins, Top Gun, out on track. Wezo still in the pits. Two Williams, both out on track. Virus and Pantry Star. Osman in P12, also out on a lap. Of course, we are missing one very, very notable name. Championship leader, Wheeze, man who's dominated the season so far. Well, he's not here tonight, so it's a great opportunity for everyone else to make up a few points in this championship. I think I have done the championship. Let me just have a look if I have that. You're not going to see it up there. Let's see if it works like this. There we go. Drivers' Championship. Wheeze, he's not here tonight. 76 points. Panda in second place on 51 points. Looks like a big lead. But if Panda were to win tonight, well, that would take him up to 76 points. Although in 2025, I believe F1 has dropped that bonus point for the fastest lap, but I believe we still carry that over here, so you could pick up the 26 points on the night and take the lead of the championship. That's the driver in the Red Bull. No lap from him just yet. Are starting to see some lap times coming in now. 27.2, the fastest. That's Nismo, one of the two Red Bulls. We were just talking about his teammate, championship contender. Dry qualifying, wet race. I don't know how true that is. It's coming from Visor. Of course, we are in the United Kingdom. And an entire session without rain, well, that would be unrealistic. About as unrealistic as F1 cars going in the wrong direction around Silverstone. Of course, now with Liberty Media taking full ownership, or a majority stake rather, I think it's 70-something% of MotoGP. There are talks of a possible double event. MotoGP and Formula One on the same day at the same circuit. They're actually looking at Kota and Silverstone as possible venues for that special outing. Virus so far the quickest, it's a 27.2, but are those lap times identical? No, they're not, but they're almost identical. Look at that, 27.204, 27.206. 0.02 of a second cover that front row after the initial runs from the drivers. Skull, he was able to put his Ferrari up into P3 on that first run. That's a 27.3, very decent lap time for a benchmark. Maybe one of the drivers who have been putting in some extra time around this circuit. In fact, we have just 1.5 tenths covering the top 3 drivers. Visor's favourite, Harsh Cartoon, in P7. It's a 127.9. Look at all the 27s, the top 8 all in the 27s. Some pretty close lap times, but remember, these are the initial lap times, these are the benchmarks. And specifically with this layout, as the session goes on, they'll just be getting more into the flow of it, getting more used to the circuit. Can be quite jarring at the beginning of the session. And hopefully everybody's had a race in reverse around here, because knowing where to put the car in turn 1, if you've never gone through turn 1 in a crowd, can be quite complicated. This is Andre in one of the, or rather the only kick salber his teammate appears to be missing tonight. You didn't see that, but Skull has gone quicker. Skull has gone quicker, and he's gone fastest. Fastest man on the circuit. And by quite some margin, 0.2 of a second. And remember, that car he's driving right now, it's not ideal. He's done 3 laps on those soft tires, which means they are past their peak. And when he did that first lap, when the tires would have been at their peak, he was carrying extra fuel. So that lap time will come down, and look at that, a 1:27.0 by Spikes. And now just 0.02 of a second cover the front row between Spikes and Skull. Nothing in it. Virus P3 27.2. That was still the initial lap time. Nismo 27.2. Pantry Star entering the pits. Smurf on an outlap. Harsh Cartoon on an outlap. J-Boy on an outlap. Caution in Sector 2. Drivers, or rather viewers, were trying to decide how many safety cars we'd be seeing this evening. I think that's going to depend a lot on the weather. Unfamiliar layout. Maybe some have practiced, maybe some have not. I presume they all have. But in the rain, how many have practiced Silverstone in reverse in the rain? How many have practiced for that scenario? You're looking at Apmagozi in P15, 29.1 is his best lap time, still finding his way around this very different Silverstone circuit. Seems to be the strategy for quite a few drivers. You can see Spikes, he set that fastest lap, but he did it on 2-lap-old tyres. Skull set his fastest lap on 3-lap-old tyres. So all of these drivers theoretically should have something more in them. This is Nismo in P4. When he set his initial lap, it was P2, just 0.02 of a second behind provisional pole, but that has since changed. He has slid down to P4. Just 0.02 of a second away from Virus. Look at these lap times. Look at the difference between P1 and P2, and then the difference between P3 and P4. 0.02 of a second for the front row, 0.02 of a second for the second row. This is Pantry Star in one of the Williams. This is Andre. Kick Sauber. Name we're not going to be saying for too much longer, because that team's going to become Audi. Unlike when it became BMW in the past, BMW actually bought Sauber but agreed to keep the name, so it was BMW Sauber until some economic issues made BMW pull out of F1 and sell their shares back to Peter Sauber at a fraction of the cost. Unlike then, for the first time in the history of that team, the Sauber name will be dropped altogether, and it will be simply known as the Audi factory team. Nismo 26.9, first driver into the 26s, but he's barely in the 26s. 26.997, and that's what everybody else is going to have to beat. Spikes is on an outlap. Remember, he set a 27.0. Skull also on an outlap, 27.0 of his own. Absolutely nothing in it. If they were to find a 10th, both of those cars could go into provisional pole. Virus also out on a lap, 27.1. Pantry Star 27.2. These lap times ridiculous. We have a 26.9, we have a pair of 27.0s, 27.1, 27.2. Nothing in it at the front. Really on that last run, maybe just finding a 10th or 2 could find you a whole lot of positions. Looking at Levy, one of the 2 Alpines. Is it one of the 2 Alpines? Where's the other Alpine? There's the other Alpine. Harshcott Tomb's the other Alpine. Levy currently P12, 28.0. We know he's quicker than that. Can be a top 5 driver, top 3 driver on his night. Maybe just a little unfamiliar with the layout. Something we might find quite common tonight. Top Gun P14. Magosi in 15th. He sits in the pits. Osman P16 out on track, 28.7. Needs to find himself a lot of time, but if he can get himself into those 27s are awfully close. Pantry Star goes fastest. Look at the lap times again, 0.03 of a second. Cover the front row. It's getting pretty ridiculous. As things stand, 0.03 of a second cover the front row. Oh wow, 0.02 of a second cover the second row. Very, very close. Death Queen, good to have you back. Death Queen abandoning the NFR stream. Who would have thought? Do that again and your song's going off the playlist. Pantry Star, the quickest man so far. Then Nismo. Nothing in those times. Look at those times. 994, 997. Then you got Spikes in P3 and Skull in P4. Both of them on a 27.0. Just 200ths of a second separate them. Then you've got Virus and Panda 5 and 6. 27.1, 27.2. Nothing in it. 7 and 8. Andre and J-Boy 27.4, 27.6. Lap times just so close together. To see how much time we have left in the session, but unfortunately we've got the right caution. There we go, 2.5 minutes remaining in the session. Some drivers will already be out there, some drivers will be on out laps, and if you're in the pits, you better get a move on. Pantry Star currently the quickest driver, 26.994, 3,000ths of a second slower is Nismo in P2. Nismo is out on track. I think Panda has called it a night for qualifying. He's not going to have time to get back out there. Nismo on a lap, Spikes on a lap, Skull on a lap, Virus on a lap. Positions 2, 3, 4 and 5 all on out laps. Let's go to Panda. Where is Panda? 27.2. He's already done a lap on those tires. Is this a slow down, or is he warming up for one more go? Of course, that is your main championship contender. He's currently in P2 with Wheeze, championship leader, missing the race. Could potentially lead the championship at the end of this round if he were to win the race. No pressure. Pantry Star still the quickest. This is Nismo. So difficult for me to even try and figure out where they are on track. Just can't get used to these reverse tracks. I can drive on them, I just can't commentate on them. I keep on getting lost. This is Nismo, the man in P2. All he needs to do is find 4,000ths of a second, and that will give him provisional pole position. But I think he might want to find a little more than that, because there's some other drivers also in pursuit of that 26.997, or is it a 994 rather? Spikes in one of the two McLarens. Seasons ago was at the rear of the field. If you only started watching F1 last year, you wouldn't believe that. Virus over the line, fastest by an entire 10th. 26.8, I say an entire 10th, because that's how close it's been. 26.8 versus 26.9. Who else is still out on track? Nismo still out on track. Spike's still out on track. Skull's still out on track. It's right with the Ferrari driver. This will be him giving it his absolute everything. Remember that first lap, the 27.097, that was set with old soft tires and a little bit extra fuel. There we go, 26.4. Told you he had more than that. All the signs were there. 26.4. 4/10ths clear of the field. And if that can translate to race pace, well, Andre goes over the line to get to a 27.4. That'll put him in the top 10. Still waiting for Osman Harsh Cartoon. Rather, Osman and Harsh Cartoon to finish their laps. Blankies just went over the checkered flag without an improvement. 28.3. It's going to be good enough for P14. Now we go to the RB driver, and he goes into the pits. Driver left, Harsh Cartoon also returning to the pits. No improvement on the cards. Boys and girls, that is qualifying. classic qualifying session. But remember, Skull's been putting in some extra practice on this particular layout. Who knew all Skull needed was to be threatened by helmet marker? It worked. There we go, there are your results. Skull takes pole position, Virus P2, then Pantry Star, Nismo, Spikes, Panda, Smurf. Then we've got Sugar Bear, Lebby, and Andre making up the top 10. On the other side, we've got J-Boy P11, Osman P12, Harsh Cartoon 13, Boinkies 14, Top Gun 15, Apmagozi going from 16th on the grid, Wezo 17, and Essa will go from the rear of the field. And we're back. And now it's time for the main show. Qualifying's all fun and games, but if you don't get it right in the race, that's all it is, fun and games. Of course, now Skull, what a lap, 4/10 faster than the rest of the field, but now his attention will change from qualifying, from the ultimate lap. It will now change to his race start, turn 1. How does he approach it if he gets a good start? How does he approach it if he gets a bad start? All of those things will be going through his mind, but first he'll be sitting on the grid deciding, what tyre am I starting on? What do I anticipate in this race? If you're expecting an early safety car, are you really going to go on the hard tyre? What if the early safety car never arrives? What if the safety car never arrives at all? There we go, we're about to get going. Of course, not straight into the race. We get the dual green lights. Gonna give everybody one opportunity to get around this reverse layout one more time. Feel it for the first time with a heavy fuel tank. What we can do is let's bring up your tire screen immediately so we can see who's doing what at the start. And it looks like the medium compound is, well, by far the more popular choice. Only 2 drivers choosing to go on the hard tyre. Those are the 2 drivers on the final row. That's Wezo and Essa. Got 1 driver going on the softs. That's Sugar Bear. And the rest of the field going on the medium tyre. Now I'm not sure if the comment section is just messing around with the commentator or if it's true. But according to the comment section, rain is coming. We shall see. If the rain does come, well, then we'll quote Visor. Well, well, well. Just let me know in the, oh, there we go. You don't need to let me know. It says no game sound. The game sound is gone. Let's just get into the start of the race, and if things settle down or if we get a safety car, I'll see if I can try and sort that out. I know it's annoying, but it's It's the capture card, and I need to unplug everything to do it. So let's see if we can get a safety car, and then I'll try and sort it out. Hopefully you can all hear me though. We wait now for the 5 red lights, and there they are, 3, 4, and 5. When they go out, we'll be underway. Saying that the sound disappeared because Ubuntu's #1. That might explain things. Williams, Ferrari. Look at this. Skull went from P1. He's dropped a position into P2, but just needs to settle down. Virus, Skull, Pantry Star. Ferrari splits the 2 Williams. Then you've got Nismo followed by his teammate Panda. Those two riding 4 and 5. In fact, Panda's just gone down a position. Sugar Bear. He's made up a few places. Remember, that's the only driver in the field on a set of softs. He should have superior grip to everyone around him. But for how much longer? Well, apparently you can hear me loud and clear, so that's fantastic. Blame the capture card. And I really don't know what it is, because I've got 2 capture cards, and occasionally this happens, and they've both done it to me. So who do you blame? You can blame me, it's fine. Virus leads the way. Skull in P2. Remember, Skull was the quickest man in qualifying by 0.4 of a second. But it's all about how it translates to the race. Of course, that's the end of lap 1, and that's why Virus is quickest. 34.1. That lap time will come down as the race goes on. Skull P2, Pantry Star P3. The Williams running strong in this race so far. Then the 2 Red Bulls. Panda lost a position to Sugar Bear, but he has since reclaimed that position. Virus still leads the way. Skull in P2. Then we've got Pantry Star in P3. Nismo P4. Panda P5. Nothing's changed there. Sugar Bear on the soft tyre. That tyre should be giving him an advantage. He should be making up time, but that's not what you want to be doing with the soft tyre. He's off the circuit on the grass. And that's not the way to use the soft tyre to its full extent. Will have lost temperature, would have got grass on the tyres. It's just going to take him a few corners to settle down again and start finding the grip. He has lost a position due to that mistake. Spikes goes up into P6. Visor. New name for Harsh Cartoon. Harsh Cartoon Lawson. You know, now that I think about it, Harsh Cartoon Lawson. I don't know if that's insulting because you're comparing his driving to Liam Lawson, or if that's insulting because you're comparing him to a New Zealander. Either way, it's just wrong. Virus still leads the way. 0.2 of a second is the gap. 0.1 of a second is the gap. Any time now that Ferrari is going to be looking for a way past. Remember, there doesn't need to be too much urgency just yet. Everybody's on the same strategy. Still Virus, still Skull, still Pantry Star. No change in the top 3, no change in the top 5 actually. Still the 2 Red Bulls, 4 and 5. Spikes made up that position when Sugar Bear made a mistake, so he's up into P6. There is Sugar Bear. Seems to have found his way. Then Smurf in P8, Osman P9, Harsh Cartoon. The final of the points scorers as things stand. J-Boy looking to get into the points. P11, his teammate, up in P2. Love to make it a double point scoring night for the Scuderia. They haven't had a fantastic start to the season. This is Andre. Doesn't seem to be enjoying this layout too much. We know how close he and Skull usually are, but on this particular layout, just seems he's not a fan. Essa, P14, remember he started right at the rear of the field, so he's already made up 4 positions. 2 Aston Martins, 15 and 16, Top Gun. And Wezo, name I haven't seen in a while. Apmagozi, 17, Levy, 18. And then back to the front where nothing has changed. Virus, Skull, Pantry Star, Nismo, and Panda. I think the chat was fooling around about the rain, or were they not? I don't know. We look up at the sky and there are some clouds, but there's also some blue. So at the moment, I have no idea. Thoughts on Max Verstappen maybe moving to Mercedes? Well, it would be an interesting scenario, I think, because George Russell is sort of, or he was until a few months ago, Mercedes' long-term plan. Kimi Antonelli, they've invested a lot of money in him. So I think the first question would be, who would they drop? I think they'd have to drop Russell. I don't think it's very fair, but I think they've just invested a lot of money in Kimi Antonelli to let him go after 1 season. If they did bring in Max, I think there's a possibility. You know, there's a Toto Wolff connection to Max Verstappen that a lot of people don't know about. Way back in the day, when Toto Wolff, he was interested in bringing Max Verstappen to Formula 1. So was Helmut Marko. The difference was Toto Wolff wanted Max Verstappen to come through Formula 3, Formula 2, and then Formula 1. Helmut Marko was willing to offer the 16-year-old a seat at Toro Rosso. So obviously Max went with the Red Bull deal, but I don't know if Toto Wolff ever got over that rejection. So I think there's definitely a possibility if Max goes anywhere, he's going to go to a car that he thinks he can win at. He's not going to be going to a Haas or a Williams or an Alpine anytime soon. And as far as Christian Horner goes, all I'll say, because I'm either going to be incredibly right or completely wrong. But I think I'm going to be right. Let's just say Christian Horner, Alpine, watch this space. And not only will he be team principal, he'll actually get a stake in the team. These are all things that are being discussed in the background. And apparently Mercedes are putting together a £110 million contract for Max Verstappen. So if any of this is true, we're going to have an interesting 2026. And let me know, if you were Max Verstappen, wouldn't you be jumping that ship? Adrian Newey has left. Christian Horner is gone. Next year, new engines. Nobody knows how those engines are going to perform. If you're going to jump ship, I think it's a good time. And Mercedes got the regulation changes right last time. I think they'd be a good bet. Visor still leads the way. Skull still P2. Nismo in P3. That means we've lost one of the Williams. Pantry Star all the way down to P6. He must have made a mistake. Maybe if he was on a softer compound, that would make sense for him to drop down the field, but he's on the same compound as everyone else. So I think he must have made a mistake. And with how close these cars are, any time you spend on the grass, you find yourself 2 or 3 positions back. What about Cadillac? Well, I don't know what to say about Cadillac or even Audi. I think that Formula One is not the World Endurance Championship. Formula One is not Indy. And I've seen many teams try, and I've seen many teams get it wrong. You can throw as much money as you want at it. It doesn't always work. Look at Aston Martin, still looking for their first victory, and they've spent so much money on that team. And then, of course, I think the biggest ones ever to come into Formula One, the biggest failure, would have to be Toyota. Toyota made an absolutely huge investment when they came into Formula One. Money was not an issue. It was practically an open checkbook. They had a bigger budget than the Ferrari team. Obviously, they spent better half of a decade in Formula One. And if I'm not mistaken, they got a handful of podiums. Never won a race. If I was asking about BMW, I don't think BMW is coming back to Formula One anytime soon. Trying to think, when was the last time BMW won a championship? I might be wrong, but I think it was actually, I think it would have to be Max Verstappen's father-in-law, Nelson Piquet. That was either in 1985 or 1988. That was a BMW Turbo. Virus still leads, Skull still P2, 0.3 of a second. Absolutely nothing has changed. But has he been going for the overtake, or is he simply just following Virus, tiring him out? Of course, when you're at the front and you're pushing and you're pushing and you're pushing and you're on the limit, every time you look in your mirrors, that scarlet red Ferrari is still right where it was the last time you looked at your mirrors. You think you've got a bit of an advantage. He opens up the DRS, he comes right back at you. It's so tiring when the driver behind you is just able to match you lap after lap. Just applies the pressure, keeps applying the pressure, and the driver in front really just needs to get on with his work, make sure he's keeping on the racing line, do his best, and try not to look in his mirrors too much, because something like that can put you off. Ferrari just showing a nose there to the Williams, going towards the inside, but nothing coming of it. Opens up DRS, but still no overtake. These two staying awfully close together, 0.3. I think maybe what's going to split them is an undercut. Of course, they're on exactly the same strategy. 8-lap old mediums for both those drivers. Have a caution in sector 2. Quickly look towards the track map. Everything looks to be fine. Another thing, if you're watching tonight and you weren't watching on Sunday, please beware. If we do get any safety cars tonight, something broke on the game. So if you're watching from a spectator's point of view, it's not going to say safety car on the screen at any time. It's just going to say caution. So if that entire track is lit up in yellow, well, then it's a safety car. Pfizer saying all the safety car predictions were wrong. That appears to be the case. Lap 10 of 26 and everything going perfectly well so far. Just one penalty on our screen. That's for Essa. And all 18 drivers that started the race are still very much in this race. Virus still in front, Skull still P2, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, nothing in it between those two. What do you do from Skull's perspective? If you think you can't run away from Virus, is it better to just sit behind him? Let him be the one that has to manage all the pressure. You just drive behind him. Maybe after a few laps, you'll pick up where he runs a little wide, where he makes a mistake, but that's not going to happen. No undercut, both into the pits at the same time. And well, I thought maybe a pit stop would separate these two. That does not appear to be the case. Now a Red Bull takes the lead of the race for the first time this evening. It's Nismo P1, Pantry Star P2, Spikes now up into a podium position. But remember, those top two have come into the pits, so they are still provisionally the top two when everybody else comes into the pits. I wonder if that was just Virus trying to do an undercut and Skull just following him straight into the pits, saying not today. Visor saying rain will make things interesting. Yes, it will. Let's go on board with Nismo so we can look up at the skies. Still a lot of blue sky there. If rain is coming, I don't think it's going to be in the next few laps, but we need to keep an eye on that skyline. It's Nismo P1, Pantry Star P2, 4.6 seconds between the top two. Then it's Spikes. Spikes very, very close behind that Williams. Visor's favourite up into P4 for the Alpine, Harsh Cartoon. He's just up the road from Andre, P5, then J-Boy, Poinkies, Osman, Top Gun, and Wezo. That's your top 10. Then just outside the top 10, the two men that are provisionally leading this race. Virus P11, Skull P12, and you wouldn't believe it, they separated by 2 tenths of a second. Meaning that pit stop definitely did not affect that gap. Well, I was going to try and fix the sound if we got a safety car. I was expecting a few safety cars, so I'd get a few opportunities to try and sort it out. Well, we've had no safety cars. And there's a very good possibility that if I try and fix it, the stream might not come back. So let's wait for a safety car. Maybe you'll get your game sound back. But if the race stays this clean, well, you're going to have to just deal with the sound of my voice. At the front, still Nismo, then Spikes, then Andre. Andre now into a podium position. He is still yet to pit. He would love a safety car at this moment. Imagine the drivers who have not pit if they got a free pit stop now. But Nismo comes into the pits. Will Spikes follow suit? Yes, he does. He too comes into the pits, as does Andre, as does J-Boy. And oh, that's not what you want to see. Andre picks up a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Those 10 seconds will be added on his pit stop or at the end of the race, either or. That's not the sort of penalty you want to your name. It's a pretty harsh penalty. 3 seconds, you might get away with it, but a 10-second penalty if you get a safety car at the end can destroy your race. Now, a man who was hardly in the top 10 leads the race. Wezo in the lead of the pack. Of course, I think he was very close to his teammates, so they weren't able to come in together. There would have been a double stack. He's had to stay out one lap more. Or did he start on the hard? He did. He started on the hard. So he should be going a little deeper. His teammates started on the medium. Split strategy. And Skull now leads the race for the first time in this race. And I think he just managed to get himself past Wezo. Virus had to struggle around for half a lap trying to get past Wezo. And that's just given him a 9/10 gap, a 1 second gap now. And that might make all the difference. We saw Skull had superior pace in qualifying. If he's able to bring that pace into the race, once he's broken DRS, that gap should grow. But that's what's crucial. If Virus can keep it within that second, it doesn't matter if you have a 2, 3, sometimes even 4/10 advantage over your opponent. If he's able to just click open that DRS lap after lap, it just brings him straight back into the equation. But Skull now is starting to open the gap, 1.5 seconds. So those two matching each other very, very, very closely on the medium compound, but it just seems on the hard compound, Virus not quite enjoying the hard tyre as he did the medium. It looks like Skull may have done a few laps on this tyre because he's having no issues at all. 1.8 seconds. Wouldn't that be a story? All the first few rounds of the season, retirements, no points, and eventually gets himself on that championship table with a result like this. But still a very, very long way to go. Do not want to Nigel Mansell this situation. Of course, Nigel Mansell once on his way to winning what would have been his first win at the British Grand Prix. He started waving at the crowd on the final lap because he had quite a substantial gap. So he started waving at the crowd, and unfortunately he ran out of fuel on the pit straight. Never celebrate till it's over. And if I'm not mistaken, that was the time he got out the car, tried to push it over the line, and simply fainted next to his side pod. You can find footage of that on YouTube. We have a fun fact coming in from Visor. Not sure why. Fun fact. Oh wow, fun fact. Visor is yet to get a podium in it. What? Did I read that wrong? I'm not sure. Harsh Cartoon yet to get a podium in SAFRL. And another fun fact, Harsh Cartoon, the only... You need to stop. Visor needs to stop. So much abuse of the Harsh Cartoon. The man may have to change his name just to get away from Visor. Another man starting with the V is Virus. He led the race, majority of the race, or the entirety actually of that first stint. I didn't see the Ferrari take the lead in that first stint. They came into the pits together. They emerged from the pits together. The gap looked the same. Virus was still leading. But in the process of coming through the traffic, Skull made up a position and he's broken DRS. After breaking DRS, he's just been taking a 10th here and a 10th there, and it's snowballed into a 2.3 second gap. That Virus is going to have to hope for a mistake, or he's going to have something a little extra in his pocket that he's not telling us about just yet. Fun fact, Harsh Cartoon drives on full throttle. This is terrible. Is this harassment? Is this bullying? I'm not sure. No harassment and bullying on YouTube. Here is Key Cracker. I think we've commentated on Key Cracker before in the lobby. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to SAFRL. You're looking at lap 16 of 26, and if you don't recognize the circuit, it's just Silverstone in the wrong direction. Skull still leading. Remember, he took, I'm going to say it, it was a surprise pole. I didn't expect that from the season he's been having so far. And then in the race, just no mistakes. He's done everything he's needed to do. He was patient. He stayed behind Virus for a long time. Didn't try and do anything silly. Didn't go for an overtake that wasn't there. And then after the pit stops, he just had a much better handle of those hard tires. And Virus has not been able to match him ever since. That gap now, almost 3 seconds. Congrats on 1K subs, thank you. Took a while, but we got there. And we're almost at 1,100. Skull still leads the way, 2.7, so it has come down slightly. Virus in P2, Sugar Bear in P3. Remember, Sugar Bear went with a very different strategy than everybody else. He started on the soft tire. Seems like since then he's gone onto the medium. And I don't think that medium's going to get to the end. So he's in a fantastic position. But he's going to have to make another pit stop. Well, if Skull needed a confidence boost, maybe Sunday was the confidence boost he needed. Sometimes you don't need a pole position, you don't need a win when you just haven't been finishing races. Sometimes just that one race finish can bring you right back into it. Of course, he got a points position on Sunday for the first time in Season 12. And now for the first time in Season 12 SAFRL, he is on for points. And not only is he on for points, he's on for the whole handful. Keycracker saying he does not, well, he hates the reverse tracks. Hate is a strong word. I've done this circuit in reverse. I've done Austria in reverse. I actually like Austria in reverse with the exception of one corner. It's the hairpin, downhill hairpin left-hander. That corner is ridiculous. It obviously wasn't designed to be driven that way. But the rest of the circuit, I actually like it. Silverstone, I'm not too fond of in reverse. And Zandvoort, well, I haven't taken on that challenge just yet. A banked turn 1 does sound interesting. Should probably give it a go soon. Skull, Virus, Nismo, but now the gaps have opened up. 3.6 seconds is the gap between P1 and 2, then a second between 2 and 3. It's 9/10, so Nismo has actually just come into DRS. This means Nismo could soon be getting past that Williams and he will be the new challenger to Skull. Maybe he has a better understanding of these hard tires than Virus does. And remember, his tires will be 2 laps fresher than Virus and Skull up the road from him. Guys are saying Monaco in reverse. I've done Monaco in reverse, just on a Certa Corsa. And the thing with Monaco in reverse is it doesn't feel any better when you do it the right way around. So it should have never been a racetrack, whether it's the right way around or the wrong way around. It still feels terrible. Skull leads the way from Virus, from Nismo, then Pantry Star, Panda, Andre. Panda would have been hoping for a better race here tonight. Of course, a victory here tonight would have brought him level with Wheeze in the championship. basically blank sheet of paper. But only P5 for the time being. He is chasing Pantry Star, so he might still get another position before this is over. Let's go, Harsh Cartoon. Let's go. Stop sandbagging. That is the message from your number one fan, Visor. I was going to say he's got a number one next to his name, but he doesn't have a number one next to his name. He's got a number two next to his name. Number one, well, that's Ubuntu. Ubuntu's been here before the race even started. I think before I got the music playing. Lebby has left the session. We've got a caution in Sector 3. Was that a retirement in the pits? I think it was a retirement in the pits. We see a car there sitting in the pit lane stationary. So hopefully that was just a retirement in the pits and it won't trigger anything. Remember, it's not going to say safety car, so keep your eyes on the track map. Magosi now retires from the session. Essa has left the session. Something not looking right. Now we've got caution in Sector 1 and 2. Keep your eyes on the track map. This is an awfully long caution. Skull leads the way, Virus P2, then Nismo, then Pantry Star, Panda P5, Harsh Cartoon, Spikes, Andre, J-Boy and Boinkies. Got no game sound. I can't hear. But we still have that caution. Just Sector 1 now. But it looks like the guys are at racing speed. Skull would have had his heart in his mouth. That's the last thing you want when you're leading the race. When you're leading the race, the last thing you want is a safety car. Of course, if you're in the midfield, if you're at the rear of the field, that's exactly what you want. It gives a race that wasn't going so well a second opportunity. But if your race is going well, you don't want that roll of the dice. Every single time there's a restart, there's a chance of a mistake. We were talking about the blue skies earlier, and if you look up, well, I don't see them anymore. It's lap 22 of 26. If the rain were to start falling right now, it would be interesting, because the drivers would try and finish on the slick. But I have a feeling it's going to come just in time for us to end this race. Nismo did make the overtake on Virus. We said he was getting closer and closer. We didn't see the overtake on camera, but he has since gone into P2. Now we'll see if he can make any inroads on that gap, 4.8 seconds to the leader. But as things stand, looks like the Ferrari has everything under control. Guys are saying Harsh Cartoon, P6. Definitely doing well. He's been getting in the points lately over here and on Sunday. Put time in, week out. It may not seem like you're making an improvement, but over time, those little tenths of a second here and there, and we see drivers who were once at the rear of the field becoming quite common midfield drivers, and sometimes even beyond that. I've been commentating with SAFRL now for 6 seasons. First time I commentated for SAFRL was season 6. That's back in the archive. And I can tell you, when I started commentating for these guys, Skull was not someone you would consider a threat for the race win. He has since gone from the rear of the field to the midfield to a driver who can win when he gets everything right on the night. Why is it saying L harsh cartoon, L harsh cartoon? I'm not sure if that's a... Is he saying all hail harsh cartoon? You guys can type what you want in the comment section. Just remember one thing, I'm going to read them the way I want. And what I see there is all hail harsh cartoon. What a nice thing to say, Pfizer. All hail harsh cartoon. Skull still leads the way from Nismo. Nismo is making a little bit of ground, but it's nothing major and nothing that is going to change the result of this race. I think the only thing that can change a result from this race is some very late misfortunes. And I think we're actually going to get off board with the Ferrari. Don't want to apply any more pressure to that driver than is necessary. And I don't want to get blamed for any commentator's curse. So we're going to ride with the man in P2. That's Nismo, 4.7 seconds. Gap remains stable. Then the two Williams, they started next to each other at the start of the race, and it looks like they're going to finish alongside each other. P3, P4, just 0.6 of a second, covering the teammates. And they are also in close pursuit of that Red Bull. So still a double podium for Williams on the cards. But it would take a mistake from the Red Bull driver up the road. As for Panda, he hasn't been able to make up any more ground up the field. P5 looks like it's going to be the best for him. Essa 29.3, fastest lap of the race. Remember, he started at the rear of the field in P18, made up a few positions at the start of the race, went all the way up to P14, but then we've missed something. Hasn't had the race he would have wanted, finds himself outside the points. Just 2 laps to go. There's no more time. The rain ain't gonna save you. A safety car ain't gonna save you. This is it. Get your head down and make sure you get to the end. As for the second Ferrari, we've spoken enough about the one Ferrari. Here's the other Ferrari. He's also in the points. Fantastic evening for the Ferraris. I think if you remember last Tuesday, we had a double Ferrari DNF. So it hasn't been a fantastic start to the season for the Scuderia. And this is just the night they would have wanted. Let's quickly have a look at that Constructors' Championship, if I've made it properly. There we go. Mercedes leads the way on 76 points. Red Bull not far behind, 73. 42 for McLaren, and you can see they're in 10th place. That's why I say this is such an important evening. Thought J-Boy might have finished in the points once or twice, but that's confirmation. Ferrari yet to get off the mark in season 12, and what a way to get off the mark if they could get both cars in the points this evening. It's lap 25 of 26. Where is Skull? Surely he's getting towards the end of this lap, and yes he is. Goes around the final. No, he doesn't. Or does he? Am I looking? Yes, the track is backwards. I get confused. Goes over the line to start lap 26 of 26. This is the final time around this 5-kilometer circuit. 4.2 seconds is the gap, and he's also got the cushion that Nismo has a penalty next to his name. We haven't spoken about that penalty quite enough. I've actually just taken note of it now. It's a big penalty. A very big penalty. 10 seconds worth of penalty. So that means Skull just needs to bring it home for the win. And if those Williams can keep it in a straight line, it's going to be a double Williams podium. Fantastic result. Going down the old pit straight. That's where the race used to start when I started watching F1. Silverstone has had many evolutions. Of course, the first ever Silverstone layout pretty much resembled a triangle. Pretty much. Think of a triangle with rounded corners. That was pretty much Silverstone's first iteration. This is Skull back to the Ferrari as he goes over the line. He gives it a weave, does it? And he almost, it looked like he lost it there for a moment. But a fantastic victory, a well-deserved victory. Came under criticism in the beginning of the season, just couldn't bring the car home, couldn't get the result. Sometimes it was mistakes, sometimes it was technology. We've seen them both for Skull this season. But finally, he gets the night he's wanted for so long. Pole position and the victory on the night. What more could you want? Oh, and Death Queen, Andre is also in the points. Andre's in P9. Both of them making the points. Actually, looking there, Nismo, he actually went all the way down to P5 with that penalty. So even his teammate made up a position. Panda will finish P4, so he'll get a few extra points. That'll close the championship up a little, but he would have loved to be in P1 and level on championship points going into the next round. Here we go, there's the victory, there's the confirmation, finger up in the air. Le grazie, le grazie. So there we go, race winner Skull. Fastest lap went to Essa, driver of the day went to Boinkies, most overtakes went to Wezo, and the cleanest driver on the night, well, it went to Boinkies. As for your results, Skull takes the victory, started P1, ended P1. Fantastic job. Pantry Star and Virus P2 and 3 for the Williams. Great result for the Williams team. Then the pair of Red Bulls 4 and 5. Good result for Red Bull. Also both cars in the points. Then we've got Spikes in P6, Harsh Cartoon P7. Good points on the night. We've got J-Boy P8, Andre P9 and Sugar Bear taking that final point. No points on the night. Boinkies, Osman, Top Gun, Smurf, Wezo, Essa. And then we've got the two DNFs, Apmagozi. And the first one to go was Levy. And there we go. What a race that was. Of course, there was a lot of questions prior to the race. Are we going to see lots and lots of safety cars? Are we going to see rain? It's always a possibility when we're in the UK. We didn't get rain. We didn't get safety cars. We didn't even get a virtual. It was a clean race. We only had 2 DNFs. And Skull, well, terrible start to the season, but what a night tonight was. Gonna have a look quickly in my Discord. I've got 2 drivers there in my Discord, so I'm not going to bring them into the comments box. I'm simply going to go into the cool down room. So you're just going to have to give me a few seconds so I can make sure you guys can hear the drivers and I can hear the drivers and they can hear me. It's all very complicated and there's more than one mic in this setup. So give me a few moments and I'll be back with you in a moment, hopefully with a few drivers.
Oh, wait here.
There we go. Good evening, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
There we go. Now I can go back to the stream. Who do I have here with me? I've got Skull and I've got Virus. We'll start with Virus.
Yes,
Somebody else just joined. Did somebody else just join? Somebody
Pantry.
else. There we go. Pantry Star. So we'll start with Virus. Virus. Obviously, you led the first stint of the race up until the pit stops. Looked like you and Skull were pretty evenly matched on the medium compound. But then what can you tell me about after the pit stop? Were you having trouble with the hard tyre, or did Skull just find something extra?
Yeah, it's Skull. You know, Skull is the little alien of everyone. So he just flies these days. But yeah, no, I went. Our pit sequence. I mean, he pitted with me, which I was surprised he was going to do. And yeah, so we ran up until where we hit one of the back markers. Well, not a back marker really. Was still in the race. I think we was running second Wezo on that stage, and then Skull overtook him on a crucial moment there, and I got stuck behind him through Mackets and Backets. So, and I lost the RS there, and then so from there it just went backwards for me. I started making a couple of mistakes, had a couple of lockups, and yeah, I was still happy with the result. At the end of the day, it was a good race, good fun race, at battling with Skull there in the start. I think we battled for like, I don't know, 18 laps or something like that, or 15 laps, somewhere around there, which was fun. We were always in each other's DRS, and yeah, no, good. It was a good race, and of course, my teammate, new teammate, hitting podium with me is also very good points for Williams Racing at the end of the day.
And then over to Pantry Star. Tell me a little bit about your race. How did you find the British reverse circuit? Is it your first visit to the circuit, or?
I think it's my 8th visit. I still don't understand this truck. It's still a nightmare. Second turn, just not making sense. Unfortunately, I had a bit of a slip up. But yeah, it went quite nice. After pit stop, caught up with my teammate and Nisma. They had quite a good fight, and that assisted me getting into DRS. But yeah, with the result as well on my side, very happy. But definitely Williams is going to top. Very soon you'll see.
Hey, there you go.
And then I've got a message for Virus from Visor.
Visor, I could have just guessed it.
And Visor is saying just excuses from Virus.
I'll take it on the chin. Yeah, I'll take it on the chin.
So then, of course, now we go to the man of the night, Skull. Were you expecting pole position? Did you know you were going to take pole position? Did you know you had that time? Were you? I saw what you did at the beginning there. You did your first lap on 3-lap old tires.
Yeah, I knew I had a good lap in me, but I don't think I would have done a 0.4. My fastest I've done is a 0.6. So I was shocked at a 0.4. Happy with the qualifying and the race result.
So you actually did your best lap in qualifying, so you're not going to get much better than that. Yeah. How often do you actually match your best when you get to the real deal? And then obviously in the race,
never.
Tell me a little bit about the first stint of the race. So prior to the pit stops, were you following? Were you simply following Virus and waiting for a mistake, or you just couldn't make the overtake? Because obviously after the pits, it looked quite different.
Yeah, no, at the start I had a very bad start. Almost both Williams came past me, but luckily only one did. I stayed behind him because his straight line speed is just too fast to me. So I decided to just follow his every move. When he pits, I'll go with him. Then after the pits, I think 2-3 laps, made a mistake into what turn it is. After Maggots and Bigots, the long left-hander. He made a mistake on the straight. Then I came alongside him and took him around the outside. Then yeah, the incident came with the Aston. Can't remember who it was. Then
got another message for Virus. Apparently your teammate should be Harsh Cartoon.
Unfortunately, the luck of the wheel wasn't in that favor. Tell Visor, unfortunately not.
that was a good race. That was a good race. It was very close in qualifying, and of course the main talk before the race, in the comment section anyway, was they were betting how many safety cars there were going to be. They were betting on rain, and we didn't get rain. We didn't even get a virtual. So, and I think there was just 2 retirements at the end. So I was actually very surprised. I thought that the whole reverse track was going to throw a bit of chaos amongst SAFRL, but it seems like all of you were pretty well rehearsed with the layout already.
I was hoping for a safety car there at the end, so that we can get Skull back into the field, but he was probably doing some no safety car dance while he was driving, and which worked well for him.
Lando, what?
I thought it was a sun in the horizon, so it was the skull that was there in the horizon.
Yeah.
Can you bring
The
it back,
scene
Lance?
disappeared there.
No, I'm in the wall.
But I wanna say thanks to you guys for obviously joining me after the race. I want to do this more often. I'd love to have at least the top 3 in the comms box at the end of the race. And of course, the comms box is open to anybody else, any other driver who wants to come in and have a say. But of course, if you get a little bit too emotional, I might have to mute you. But thanks to the top 3, Pantry Star, Virus, and of course Skull taking his first pole of the season and his first victory of the season and his first points finish of the season. Your teammate also got in the points, Skull, so first points of the season for Ferrari.
First up, oh yeah, the season.
Yeah, you guys were.
That's not a good stat.
You guys were 10th on 0 points. So both Ferraris in the points tonight. So you finally get off the board. So thanks guys a lot. I'm gonna say goodbye to you, and then I'm gonna go and say goodbye to YouTube. If you guys are still in the cool down room, I might come back. Okay. So thank you very much. And well, if you're not here when I come back, I'll speak to you soon. Thanks guys.
Thanks guys. Thanks for the watch.
Everyone.
And there we go. I think you can all hear me, and I think the Discord is gone. So thank you everybody on the stream, everybody in the comment section, everybody who was already here even prior to the race. I didn't know if we were going to have good numbers. I know there's other races happening in the South African community as we speak, and we still got pretty good numbers for the night, and we got 18 guys in the lobby. So SAFRL showing its strength and showing its depth, and it's fantastic to see. So thank you everybody. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of music, and I will see you all, not see you all, well, I'll see you in the comments on Sunday night, Sunday evening. Till then, cheers.
A spark in the dark where your dreams collide. They'll tell you to stop, say the road's too long, but your heart keeps beating to a rebel song. Take a step, don't look below. Every scar's a story, only you will know. The weight of the world can't break your stride. You're carving your name where the stars reside. When the shadows call, when the nights grow cold, you'll find the strength in the tales untold. You can rise to the sky, touch the edge of the flame, write your heart in the light, let the world know your name. No chains can hold you, no storms too wide. You're a legend in the making when you rise to the sky. The ground may shake, but your roots run deep. Every fall you take is a promise you keep. The doubters will fade, their voices will break, 'cause your soul's on fire and it's yours to take. his heart with a fearless flame. When the shadows call, when the nights grow cold, you'll find the strength in the tales untold. You can rise to the sky, touch the edge of the flame, write your heart in the light, let the world know your name. No chains can hold you, no storms too wide. You're a legend in the making when you rise to the sky. Stand tall when the thunder roars, break the locks, kick down the doors. Every step is a battle won, your story's just begun. Oh, let it soar, forevermore, forevermore. You can rise to the sky, touch the edge of the flame, write your heart in the light, let the world know your name. No chains can hold you, no storms too wide. You're a legend in the making when you rise to the sky. So keep on climbing, don't ever slow. The stars are waiting where the brave ones go. You'll rise to the sky. Yeah, you'll rise to the sky. A legend in the making till the end of time.
We finished it off. That's a big day for us, for constructors. We'll keep chipping away.
Pizza's paying off, mate.
Pizza, pizza, pizza.
Through rain and wrecks you fought, never lost your spark. Silverstone's mud in 25, you lit up the dark. From P19 in a Sauber that ain't grand, you danced through the rain, took fate in your hand. Lewis chased you down, but you said not today. Held off that Ferrari, sent the crowd in a fray. Lego trophy in hand, you grin with that sass. Silver or gold be nice, but I'll take this plastic class.